So hi everybody and welcome back. Let's see what's new here in the GT40 Model Works studio. I like to say studio, you know, this is my little my little office where I do my toys, big guys toys. And so this is my last I think master, you know, because I think it can be interesting to do this car. Many name her as the Mary Stuart. I don't know really if it is the real Mary Stuart. I think the real Mary Stuart was the one that raced in the Targa Florio. We are in 1973. This is another Porsche 911. It's the racing series of the 911S, you know, the first one featuring the Harrow in the front, outside of the front bumper. You know, the following model, the G models, started to have the Harrow inside the front bumper that for American specification had to be changed and became much more rubber, you know, is the typical production of the 70s, you know, and they changed the metal part of the front part of the 911, so the front bonnet was cut on this line, so all the nose and in that line exactly more or less what you can see in the front end on that one. That is the RWB body that I just completed too, you know. We will see about its production too. They are waiting parked there, you know. I like to be surrounded by 911. So you have that 911, we have this 911, we have that finished one there, Vescus 2 gun, we have that one. So well, okay, I like the model, you understand that. This is the what they call it, the R7, you know. 2 years ago I made the R6 car that I finished in the Viceroy and Sunoco version. This was the little following evolution. In 1973 they made several evolution of this Porsche 911, you know. They were going into the greatest evolution series, you know. They started, I think it was 74 if I'm not wrong, the Inter series. So it was really a golden age for motorsport, where basically there was extremely open-minded rules about the power that you can use in such car, you know. And this 911 was once again driven by Van Lep, you know, the famous number 8 Targa Florio car, you know. This car, to have an idea, the one that win the Targa Florio, but that was an RS. They call all the evolution of the RSR RSR, they call with different R numbers. So we have the R2, the R3, the R4, the R5, that they were still the slimmer, they were still already, they started, try to make it clear, you know, in my way, you know, it's not so easy to understand, but in 1973 there was constant evolution of the RS series. The RS series was a slimmer body. I think I can find it for you here, give me 1 minute. See just the roof of the car, and I think it was named the R5, to have an idea. That was basically the car used in the Targa Florio. This was a body that I had from DDP. You see how different they are. Look, the rear fenders, for example. This was the RS version. That is the RSR. All the car is much wider, you know. If you see from above, the different in the shape, and the same in the front end. The front end is similar, but bigger. This became larger and larger. They were in the direction to take the shape of the biggest 2.1 RSR, the car featuring Le Mans 74, I think it was. So just really from race to race they improved the stuff. This body that I made now, it will be referred to the car racing at Le Mans and at the Nurburgring. As you probably well know, I have my personal freak about the Nordschleife, you know. In 1973 the Nordschleife was even more extreme than what it is today, so it was really something for real balls, cojones, you know, gente con le palle, we say in Italiano, real drivers. And indeed this have to be in my collection, absolutely, the car featured by Herbie Muller. Once again, you know, if you follow my channel, you already seen in my videos the car that I made was the 917/20 Turbo. It was a monster, you know, driven by Herbie Muller. I think it was the car in which he died in that season, you know, in the Inter Series season. So it was the prototype, no limits. It was a kind of Can-Am, but racing with the Can-Am on the Nürburgring. You have to see the picture. There is some amazing stuff, you know. These people racing with 1,000 horsepower, no electronic control. Today I listen so many Instagrammer and influencer talking, this new Mercedes have 1,000 horsepower. Try to drive 1,000 horsepower Porsche of the 70s with everything. There is no extra traction control. There is nothing saving your life. Your life is a detail on that car, and it's everything on your feet. So for me, is extremely fascinating. That is really the mysterious and golden age era of the real, the true dark motorsport. 1974 Interserie Germany, and this Switzerland pilot that was Herbie Muller was driven also this mighty R7. And of course I have to do together with the decal featuring the number 46, that was the Le Mans vehicle. They have the tag of Le Mans, the inscription of Le Mans of 1973, and it was the same car that also won the Targa Florio. But of course, when I found the picture of the car number 6, this is the original decal sheet that I found online, and I will modify it, of course, because I have to make some modification for my car. This decal sheet also have a mistake here, and you see from Profile 24 there is also the dedica from Philippe, I think. Yeah, because they made this model of another version, a quite older model. I don't know really if the raisins for Profile are still in production. I really don't know, but I want to do something with my own production, and of course I want to modify the decal sheet. Of course you can also simply buy decal sheet from them and use it on my body, but I will design my own decal sheet and make the Nurburgring version that was slightly different. Of course the number was number 6, the pilot was Herbie Muller, and not Van Lepp that they had in Le Mans, and of course the rear part of the livery was retaking again the Martini colors, so I think it's extremely interesting. As usual, my model will be perfect to be used over any racing Porsche, so I don't suggest any Fujimi, because I don't think Fujimi make racer of this time. Nowadays we have the incredibly nice under part body coming from Tamiya 934, or if you want to go cheaper, and I never suggest you to go cheaper, despite if it is anyway a quite good choice also, you can choose for the Revel 934. The Revel 934 have some horrific setup and horrific wheels, but in my kit you will have the body, you will have the 4 wheels that here I am preparing. This is just a test 4 wheels. They are coming from the RSR, is 917 pocket wheel featuring a slick tire, and fits perfectly. I used that Y with some Klibe Club for the wheels, just to see temporary patafix for the wheels, just to see the overall setup, because it's everything on this car, the setup. I think when you produce or you want to make a model of a curbside car, it is extremely important that you have an overall look that is resembling the real car. It cannot be tall like a rally car, like too many models I seen around have. Of course, for molding purpose, because the guy that have to print this in resin, I can have problem in the front. This is a part that must be cut, because if you look closely at the picture, both of the car racing at Le Mans and the car racing at the Nurburgring, the front end was slightly different. It was a little off hole here coming up on this corner. That's why I engraved so much the line here, so people can cut it and simply keep this much more thinner than what it is now. But for molding purpose, I have to keep this part in this position, otherwise the guy that is casting the body in resin will have a hell, and this part will be full of bubbles. We will have problem in that. Already happened in another production of these Porsches, so I don't want to be there again with the same identical problem. That's it. I think the body is absolutely well spotted. As usual, you can basically fit whatever you want as a racing interior. Just follow the picture. There is plenty of picture also, because this wonderful R7 is quite famous right now, because she will be in auction now in August, I think, in the end of August. So exactly when I'm making this video now for auction in Bonhams, so you can bid on her. I don't know how many millions she will close to, and it was the car presented in Goodwood this year. And I think anyway, despite it is a dream car, of course is a recreation of the original car. There is a little plenty difference. There was a guy in Facebook that pointed me out about this and say, Paolo, if you're going to make the Le Mans car, it was referring to the number 46, but they are sister car. It was exactly the same car racing at the Nürburgring, with different details and different minor part. For example, this part here, this bolts here that they placed here is a placard that they used in Le Mans for the extra light in the night, so probably they prepared a kind of basement for the front extra light that in the night of Le Mans that should have during the 24-hour race, and that was not used in the Nürburgring. So I prefer to add the detail more, that if you don't need, if you want to go just for the number 6 Nürburgring car, you just have to send them out. So it's more easy to have detail more than a detail less, in my opinion. And I think that's it. I think it's a mighty Porsche. Once again, I cannot resist to place this one again in production, because this is really something absolutely great, in my opinion. You see how particular it was, the back side of this kind of, many name it there like the Mary Stewart car, you know. And I think it's absolutely a wonderful vehicle, you know, a wonderful vehicle that is absolutely a must in every collection. Then of course you can improve it, you can make it better, but I think if you love Porsches, if you love Le Mans racers, if you love the Nürburgring like I absolutely do, this is absolutely a must to have in your collection. Of course, also like, as an option, you know, I try my best, because this is anyway stuff that I know that produced in racing can be a little bit tricky and expensive, both to product for me and both to sell and both to buy from you guys. So I also leave every time the option of the decals. If you want to go to this option that I had here, like a guide for the decal that I want to do, you can do. But if you want to do the Nürburgring car, I also will produce my decal sheet, I think a little cheaper than that one, because that I paid nearly a kidney from the producer. But it's okay, I don't care about this. $10 more, $10 less, don't change it so much for me. So that's it, guys. And so this is my upcoming new items. I think is absolutely a great opportunity to have this other important racer in the collection, strictly and absolutely Martini racing this time. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next.